cô và các quý vị đạo hữu tới tham dự buổi pháp đàm ngày hôm nay. Vâng, trước khi pháp đàm bắt đầu thì con cũng xin phép nói một vài lời liên quan đến nội dung hôm qua mà sư đã đưa ra. Vì chiều hôm qua trong lúc các đạo hữu có buổi pháp đàm phụ thì chúng con cũng đã có đề cập đến chủ đề này, và có đạo hữu cũng đưa ra ý kiến là để cho hội chúng nắm được thông tin rõ hơn thì con nên trao đổi lại trước toàn bộ pháp đàm trong buổi hôm nay. Thì như là nội dung cũng đã trao đổi ngày hôm qua, thực ra thì toàn bộ những gì sư nói thì đã được chuyển ngữ sang tiếng Việt, và phần trao đổi của ông bà Chonsara cũng như Achan cũng đã rõ ý nghĩa. Thì về cơ bản thì vấn đề mà sư đưa ra là việc nếu như các vị tỳ kheo ni là thọ giới không có đúng pháp, thì những người Phật tử tới đảnh lễ xin giới như vậy thì họ có bị đứt giới hay không? Thì như đã được giải thích qua lời giảng của ông bà John và Sarah, là việc ai đó thọ giới, thực chất thì đây không phải là một cái lễ nghi có ở thời của Đức Phật. Việc thọ giới chỉ đơn thuần là nói lên cái suy nghĩ của mình về việc không tránh xa việc sát sinh trong tương lai, hay là việc tránh xa những cái việc làm sai trái khác trong tương lai. Thì việc đó có thể được làm với tâm thiện, mà cũng có thể được làm với tâm thiện. Còn việc một vị xuất gia chứng kiến sự việc đó thì nó không phải có ý nghĩa là có một điều gì đó từ giới hạnh của người chứng kiến được chuyển sang cho người thọ giới. Vì vậy nên là bất kể là một người khi bày tỏ cái ý định giữ giới của mình với một người khác, thì bày tỏ với ai đi nữa, thì cái điều ấy nó không phải là điều quan trọng. Và nếu như nói về phương diện giới thì nó chỉ là ở những khoảnh khắc có sự tiết chế khỏi việc làm xấu ác do có cơ hội để phạm vào giới. Cho nên cái câu trả lời là những việc đó nó không thực sự liên quan tới nhau. Thì con xin được phép nhắc lại như vậy để cho toàn bộ hội chúng được rõ về ý nghĩa. I'm sorry, I just because yesterday it was not too clear on the point of breaking the sila, like he mentioned. So I just because he thought that we didn't address it, or it was not translated properly, I just explained what you and John said. Dạ vâng, con thấy có chú Hùng đã chuẩn bị cho câu hỏi, con mời chú ạ.
Vâng. Kính thưa bà Achan và ông John và cô Sarah, thì con xin quay lại cái đề tài hôm qua là về cúng bái á. Nhưng mà ngược lại, vì hôm qua lúc con về con thấy có cái sự giải thích của ông John là hơi có bị chưa được thông suốt lắm. Lại về ông có giải thích là bố mẹ ông bà và tổ tiên ta là kiếp của những kiếp trước, chứ không phải là cái người mà thực tế mà ta vẫn đang thờ và tưởng nhớ. Đấy, thế nhưng mà theo những con như này thì về hàng ngày trong cuộc sống ấy, thì bố mẹ ta mà vẫn còn sống thì ta vẫn chăm sóc chu đáo tất cả mọi vấn đề, và cũng là ưu tiên hơn những cái người bình thường khác. Thì đấy có phải là dính mắc không ạ? Và có phải là có cái ngã không ạ?
Trước hết thì liên quan đến cái phần nội dung hôm qua thì có mấy điểm chú bác John có nói. Thứ nhất là bác John đặt câu hỏi là khi mà chúng ta nói là chúng ta tri ân tổ tiên thì điều ấy có nghĩa là gì, đúng không ạ? Bởi vì chú thì đưa ra là tổ tiên là ví dụ như là cha mẹ là người đã nuôi dưỡng chúng ta, thì đúng với trường hợp cha mẹ là người đã giáo dưỡng. Thì câu hỏi đặt là nhưng mà với các tổ tiên xa xôi thì sao? Và sau đó thì bác cũng có nói một ý là chúng sinh là kẻ thừa tự của nghiệp. Tức là xét ở phương diện giáo pháp thì tổ tiên thực sự của chúng ta chính là nghiệp của chúng ta. Chúng ta là kẻ thừa tự, tức là con của chính những nghiệp mà chúng ta đã tạo ra trong quá khứ. Thì đấy là điểm mà bác Chôn nói. Thế bây giờ điều mà chú đang muốn hỏi đó là khi mà chúng ta chăm sóc cha mẹ chúng ta, tôn kính cha mẹ chúng ta hơn những người khác thì điều ấy là có dính mắc, có ý niệm về ngã không? Có phải thế đúng không ạ? Dạ. Okay, so back to the topic on our gratitude to the parents. Is it something very natural, and it happens for anyone that we tend to have more attachment to our own parents and more we devote much more time to them, spending a lot of sacrificing a lot of things to take care of them. So is that attachment, and is that the idea of self there?
Without the development of understanding, how can anything be known? We just assume that when we help our parents or help our friends, that it's all good and kusala. But why is it only our friends and our parents? What about the others? What about anyone one meets? Yesterday we talked a lot about sila, and there were questions about breaking sila. So we talked about this moment, kusala sila, akusala sila. What about at moments of genuine kindness or respect for the parents or teachers or anyone? Kusala sila, just for a moment then. What about when there's strong attachment and expectation because it's our parents or our children, and disappointment when they don't behave as we would like or when they get sick? Kusala sila or akusala sila at those moments? Akusala sila. So we can't just say in this situation or that situation, such as when not killing or not stealing and so on, it's kusala sila, or when helping the parents, it's kusala sila. We have to understand more about the behavior of citta and cetasikas at this moment. So even now, there can be thinking with gratitude for all one's parents have done to help one. Is it kusala sila or akusala sila? If it's sincere gratitude and appreciation of the good qualities, kusala sila, reflecting on the good qualities of the Buddha that make it possible for us to listen to the Dhamma, kusala sila. But it's just for a moment. What about when we go into the temple and there's clinging to the statue or clinging to the idea of the Buddha taking care of us or wishing to have a happy rebirth? Kusala sila or akusala sila? Akusala sila. So it's not a matter of breaking or not breaking, but understanding what is kusala, what is akusala. So sometimes people may wonder, how do we teach young people, how do we teach children about sila? So I would like to speak to our new young friend. Would you mind answering a few questions for me? If someone can help him with a microphone.
Hello,
Hello, and what is your name?
my name is Quang Minh.
Quan Ming. So Quan Ming, sometimes when you're at home, sometimes are you good and kind and sometimes a little bit naughty?
Yes, sometimes I'm a good kid or bad.
Okay, and it's just lasts a short time and then it's gone. So when it's good and kind, helping your grandmother, this is what we call good, or kusala, if we use a Pali word. So this is good sila, or good habits. And at moments when we're naughty or we get a bit cross, then it's bad sila or bad habits. But whatever arises now, the good or the bad, it's gone immediately. It doesn't last at all. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Because sometimes people think, oh, he's so good all day or he's so bad all day, but actually it's just for a moment and then gone. And what we learn from the Buddha is that usually we think, I am good, I am bad, my grandmother is so good, my friend is so naughty. But actually, good and bad don't belong to me, don't belong to grandmother, don't belong to my friend. They are just moments of good and bad that arise and disappear like the wind, all gone. So we can forget about what has gone yesterday because it's gone, or what there was a few moments ago, good or bad, because it's gone. But what about now? Is it good or bad now?
Can you repeat that again?
Now that you're listening and considering about what the Buddha taught, is it good or bad now?
Good.
Good. Difficult to know. Very difficult to know. Without some understanding, it's just guesswork. But it doesn't belong to you or me or grandmother. And what about now? Is there any seeing now? Any seeing of any color now?
Yes.
Yes. Is it you who sees, or is it just seeing which sees now?
I think it's me.
It seems to be me. We think it's me. We think it's me all day. But we begin to learn that there are just different dhammas, seeing and then gone like the wind, hearing, gone like the wind, goodness when there is kindness or generosity and then gone, badness when there is getting cross or attachment, clinging to something, not wanting to let go, and then gone. So whatever arises, seeing, hearing, good, bad, it's just like the wind, all gone, nothing belonging to one. So it's not my good sila or the other person's good sila or the bhikkhu's good sila. They are just different habits, good and bad habits in a day. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions you would like to ask?
No, I don't.
Thank you very much. So it's just to show right from the beginning, we can begin to teach children about what is true Dhamma, about different realities, different moments of seeing, hearing, thinking, good and bad sila from the start. Is it a little bit interesting or a little bit strange to hear?
Strange.
different from a school subject. Yes. So a little bit different, a little bit strange, a little bit difficult. Thank you very much. So, Tiny Tam's father, do you have any more questions on your topic about gratitude to parents?
Hiện tại thì con chưa có, nhưng mà cái lúc vừa rồi mà cô Sarah giải thích thì mic bị hỏng. Cái tai nghe bị hỏng, bị chưa bật lên ạ.
So when you were giving your explanations, unfortunately, this headphone didn't work. He couldn't hear anything of what you said at all. He will listen again.
So what about now? Is there any gratitude to parents now, or what is real now? Is it thinking about your parents now, or what is now? What is true now? What is the reality now?
Bây giờ là bây giờ đang nghe pháp.
At this moment, there is listening to the Dhamma.
Kusala sila or akusala sila?
Thiện ạ.
Kusala sila.
Okay, for the moments. What about when forgetting about to put on one's headphones? Who knows? But anyway, so now, seeing now, hearing now, thinking about parents, thinking about how strange it is, thinking of different things. So this is daily life, different dhammas to be understood now.
And you asked whether the gratitude to parents was due to attachment. And of course, there is bound to be attachment. But in life, there are many relationships that are not, that are special in the sense of being people close to us, not just parent to child, but also sibling to sibling, or teacher to student, husband and wife. And the Buddha explained that there are responsibilities that go with these relationships on both sides. And it helps to consider those. And one of the responsibilities is that's mentioned often is that the son or daughter owes respect and gratitude to the parents for the way they've been brought up. So although there's attachment, of course there can still be reflection on the responsibilities, the gratitude. And of course it's not just reciting something, but it's understanding why there is this why parents are to be respected, and not just obeying something one's been told.
Con thêm có một ý kiến là hôm qua có cô thì cô hỏi còn về cúng bái, thì nếu cái chuyện cúng bái là cái chuyện về truyền thống văn hóa, đấy là một, và hai là nếu mà cũng không, nếu mà cô bỏ ngay mà sau khi mà sau khi buổi giải pháp nghe pháp này mà cô bỏ ngay thì liệu có vẻ có tôi ở đấy không ạ? Mà nếu mà tôi là bất thiện.
And yesterday also the topic of worshipping was brought up. Worshipping, yeah. So the lady who brought up the topic if after listening to your explanations, she drops that worshipping right away, does that mean that there is a self there?
Just before getting on to the topic of worshipping, I want to add something. The subject of gratitude to parents came up yesterday because yesterday was a special moon day and a day when traditionally one thinks of parents, maybe departed parents, and I think it was said also paying respect to one's ancestors. So we need to consider the difference between doing something in a formal setting like that and the appreciation, the understanding of the reason why there is gratitude to parents, which can come at any time. It doesn't have to be in a fixed setting, following a tradition. And in fact, we could say that on such occasions when it's something that is being done as a ritual, it's less likely to be kusala than when it occurs to one naturally in daily life. And the same goes for any kind of paying respect. Paying respect as a formality doesn't necessarily involve any kusala, and it may not. Obviously, there may be mixed kusala and akusala also, but one can have moments of respectfulness towards another person at any time, depending on the occasion and conditions, just reflecting on the wholesome qualities of another person, for example. So, yeah. And the same goes for worshipping. What do you call worshipping? Is that a reference to the ancestors? Did you have a particular question about paying respect to ancestors?
Không, thì chỉ hỏi là thế là nếu mà sau khi nghe buổi giải pháp này thì cũng là cái chuyện cúng bái không thì lên hay không lên thì cái chuyện đó nó là cả một cái quá trình, và cái đó là do trí tuệ quyết định chứ không phải một người nào cả. Ví dụ như trong mình đi học nghe pháp này thì mình biết như thế và mình cũng hiểu như thế, nhưng mà tất cả cái hiểu đấy nó chỉ là ngôn từ, và mình phải nghe nhiều và có những kinh nghiệm trực tiếp thì cái chuyện đó nó tự động, nó bỏ hay không bỏ thì nó tự cái trí tuệ nó giải quyết ạ, đúng không ạ?
So that according to his understanding, it takes time, and whether letting go of some habits that we are used to requires time, and it's a long process. It depends on our developed understanding. So understanding will take care of that itself. Is that correct understanding?
Yes, and we can also say that if it's a custom of the society in which we live to follow certain rituals, including the rituals connected with paying respect to ancestors, it doesn't mean one shouldn't participate in those rituals. One can do so out of consideration for the family members, the other family members, for example. What's important is the understanding. Is the difference if one is taking part in a ritual but with no wrong understanding of the benefit of what is being done, then why shouldn't one continue? It doesn't mean having to drop out of all social occasions.
And it's true, as you mentioned at the start, that the idea of self, someone, this person, that person, is there, so common, whilst there's the idea of I that sees, I that hears, I that am good or bad. There is the idea of others too, others who have good and bad habits, others that see and hear. There is the idea of the parents who have passed away as still existing, still someone. But when there's more understanding now, no one here, just different dhammas arising and falling away, different dhammas that are the result of karma, like seeing and hearing, different habits, good and bad, but not belonging to anyone, then there is more appreciation. It's like that for everyone. And the one that the parent, for example, just like ourselves now, actually never existed. There were just different mental and physical dhammas, different namas and rupas arising and passing away. And the one we knew as our parent is no more. There is a continuation of namas and rupas in another realm, but not the one we knew as our parent or our friend. So the more understanding there is of the truth now, the more understanding there is that there is death at each moment. Each reality arises and is gone instantly. It dies immediately. So it's not such a big deal, the end of this life, because it's just another moment of experiencing, followed by the next moment in the new life. Nothing to be afraid of. And so, as for the ancestors and the parents, so for ourselves too, just different dhammas arising, falling away, dying at each moment. In truth, no one here, no one there, no one in the past either. And as Jonathan mentioned yesterday, we're heirs to our own karma. The seeing, the hearing is not from the ancestors, but from our own karma in the past. So many points to consider, and as you said, it takes a long time to consider deeper and deeper. Let me ask Ajahn if she would like to add more to any of these topics.
Is there this moment?
Có.
Yes.
Is it precious? This moment? Is this moment precious?
Có.
Yes, Ajahn.
What is precious now at this moment?
Được nghe giáo pháp.
Listening to the Dhamma.
Just listening to the Dhamma, is it precious?
Không ạ. Có sự suy xét vào đấy nữa.
No, there has to be consideration as well.
Is consideration precious?
Phải ạ.
Yes, Ajahn.
So after consideration, what is there? After consideration, what is next moment after consideration?
Quyết định. Quyết định ạ.
Quyết định ạ. Determination.
Is determination precious?
Như bà con xin ạ. Dạ.
Quyết định có quý báu không ạ?
Có. Cái gì?
Có ạ.
Cân nhắc lại được không?
Sự
Câu hỏi.
quyết định có quý báu không ạ?
Cái đó thì còn do đúng sai của mình nữa.
Tức là tùy là
Cái
quyết định có
của
đúng
mình
hay
có
sai
đúng
không
sai
ạ?
hay không nữa.
Depending whether the determination is right or wrong.
It does matter. Is it precious moment? The determination.
Có.
Yes, Chan.
Determination is what? Is it precious? Determination is what?
Nhưng mà con là nếu quyết định cái sự
Câu
quyết
hỏi-
định đó mà có
Câu
được
hỏi là quyết định là gì ạ?
không có được hỏi phép nữa. Tại vì con như này, với cái sự suy xét của mình và có cái kinh nghiệm trực tiếp ấy thì mới ra được quyết định. Mà cái quyết định đó thì nó tốt hay xấu là do cái sự hiểu cái kinh nghiệm của mình thì cũng tốt thế. Nếu mà mình hiểu mà có cái kinh nghiệm trực tiếp ở cái khoảnh khắc đó thì mình biết được là tốt hay xấu.
So, following the consideration, depending whether there is direct experience or not, if there is direct experience, then the decision or the determination is right. If not, it will be wrong.
Can anyone determine?
Không ạ.
No, Achan.
Yes. So, what is a precious moment? What's the little boy's name? Can he answer?
Another question for our young friend. I'm sorry, we've forgotten your name again. Can you tell us your name again?
Có ai
Quang
để
Minh.
chuyển mic cho bạn Quang Minh ạ?
Quang Minh. Okay. Quang Minh, thank you for standing up. That's very polite. Ajahn would like to ask you what is precious or what is the very special thing in life.
I think it's our lives.
Our
That's
lives.
precious.
And what is precious in our lives?
The stuff that is good for us. And maybe, I'm not really sure.
So is the most precious thing in life playing football or eating good food or being kind to grandmother, or what is most precious?
I think it's being kind to everyone.
Being kind to everyone is a very precious thing, very important thing, but is it the most precious of all?
No, I don't think so.
Is there anything that is more precious still than being kind? So it's good to be kind, it's good to be generous, it's good to be friendly and helpful, but what is more precious even than those good things?
I think it's the choices that we make.
The choices that we make. And can you make a choice now what to think about?
Yes,
Are you sure?
I think so.
Can you choose now what is seen or what is heard now? No. So it seems that I can make choices. I can choose whether to go to school or come to the Dhamma discussion with grandmother. It seems I can choose whether to eat rice or noodles for breakfast. But at this very moment, no one who can choose what is seen now, no one can choose what is heard now, no one can choose what is thought about. So gradually we learn no I to choose anything. And so what is very precious is to understand that life is just now, at this moment, and understanding what is true at this moment is actually the most precious thing of all. What you call the very strange thing is actually the most precious. So we learn a little more about what life is at this moment to understand what is very precious. Would you like to ask him anything?
Thank you.
So again, what is the most precious moment?
Is understanding about life.
Okay, very good. See, that is life.
Thank you.
No understanding of life, which means no understanding of what is there in a moment. Because life exists only in a moment. Is seeing a moment? Is seeing life?
I think yes.
Yes, yes, he said yes.
What else is life?
Smell, listening.
Smelling, he said. Smelling.
I think it's listen and smell.
Is there smelling now?
Yes.
Smelling what? What is smelled?
I think I can smell the fresh air.
Fresh air. Smelling fresh air.
What do you mean by air?
I think it's the stuff that we use to live.
What we use to breathe.
Live.
To
Stuff.
live.
Stuff we use.
Now, breathe, please. What is there?
Oxygen going through my nose. Oxygen going through my nose.
Oxygen going through my nose.
What do you mean by oxygen?
I think it's the name of the air.
You think, right?
Yes, because that's what I remember in school.
Yeah. Can you experience oxygen?
Yes.
You call it oxygen. But what is the nature of that at moment when it appears? That's why we have to understand the most precious moment is not anyone's thought about this and that, but it has to be very careful to understand each word. For example, just one word, Dhamma. Does anyone think about Dhamma now? And what is Dhamma? If it's not this moment, unknown Dhamma. What is seen is flowers and things. What is thought is oxygen and so on. But what can be experienced in a day must be seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking. Is it right? Is there more than this in a day? Appearing. There is smelling, experience. But what experience it? Can it arise without that which experiences it? Can it appear without that which experiences it? For example, even right now, there might be some rupa outside. Is it known or does it appear? So the truth is only the moment of what is there. There must be the reality which arises and experience what is there as object. For example now, there is sound for sure. If there is no experiencing, hearing, hears it, can there be sound appearing now? Never. So in life, what we think about I see, I hear, I understand, in truth, each one is each reality. For example, seeing just arises to see, no matter any time, after birth, before death, or while there's this moment, there is seeing. No one knows the truth, that the moment of the sound or the sight appears, there must be a reality which sees it, which hears it. Without that reality, which experiences, which hears now, the sound cannot appear. So it's just a moment, one moment of hearing, one moment of seeing. So how can there be someone? Because to be truthful to the truth, seeing cannot be thinking, cannot be hearing, and it cannot arise by itself, or anyone can condition it to arise. But there are conditions for its arising, no matter it is seeing or hearing, just to arise, to experience an object and gone, never arise again, in samsara. So each word of the teachings of the Buddha, just to have people, or the one who has no understanding at all, to begin to understand the truth here from birth to death. Because usually we think about other things from here, the flowers on the table. But how come for that which is taken for flower if there's no seeing at all? So how many moments of seeing are there now? Unknown, because it used to be I see, I hear. But in truth, learn to understand what is that which is taken for I, if there's no reality, no moment of experiencing anything at all. But since now, there is seeing for sure. If seeing does not arise, there cannot be seeing, there cannot be that which is seen. And nobody can make seeing arise at all, because seeing is there now already. Every moment is there already by conditions. That's why listen again and again to understand what is there now. It's here. Is that right? And each one is different. The reality which arises and see and hear, experiences different objects, to different doorways, must be no one at all, because without the eye base, without that which impinges on the eyes, how can there be the moment of seeing? Can there be seeing without the eye base? Even there's the eye base. Can there be seeing when nothing impinges on it? Just in a moment. Is this understanding the most precious, to understand the truth of this moment and any moment more and more by conditions? If there's no understanding of the truth of what is there now at all, how can there be the letting go of I from birth to death? And after death, where's I? So, no I even at moment of seeing, not only at moment after death. Right now, there are what Buddha said, Dhamma. What does it mean? Any reality which is real. So the word that which is real is the meaning of Dhamma. So from firm confidence of whatever is real Dhamma, that can be conditioned to attend to this moment. What is seen must be that which is experienced by conditions. I see all day, in truth, not all day. Just a moment of seeing, conditioned to arise to see, and gone instantly. So consider how subtle Dhamma is. All Dhammas are so subtle because what is there does not appear as it is. Visible objects now appear so many different things and many different people in this room, just seeing, gone, but it conditions ignorance and attachment. Take what is seen as not it is, because the truth of it doesn't show up. The truth of it can show up to only right understanding. So now there are many people, is it true? Many moments of seeing, and only different objects seen, taken to be this shape and form is flower, this shade and form is a cup, and so on, all there. So it's the word of nimitta, something, all there. I, my friends, in this room, the window, something, all day. What does it mean? The world of concepts, the world of ignorance, and the world of atta, not anatta. As Buddha realized, whatever is there cannot be atta at all, because it's just there very shortly. After it has arisen, it falls away instantly. And this can be developed to realize the truth right now. So what is enlightenment? It's not other place, it's not other time, it's not other thing, but it's the understanding deeper of the truth, that it's just a moment, from moment, very, very quickly. That's why the person who had enlightened the truth has the name of Buddha. Understanding, great understanding, penetrated the very deep and very subtle reality right now, which keeps on arising and falling all the time differently by conditions. And this is the teachings of the Enlightened One. So the person who hasn't heard about the teachings of the Buddha, do they know that no one there, only Dhamma, conditioned from moment to moment, years and years ago, non-stop, as long as there are conditions for whatever arises it now arises and falls away. To have firm confidence of the truth, to be conditioned the moment of directly understand what is there, just one reality by way of nimitta, because the arising and falling away is so much more quicker than anyone can imagine. Each dot of just one, what we take for a petal or just a dust, see, it is big enough to be known as a dust. And what is there at that moment? No one knows. But the enlightenment of the Buddha, great, right understanding, the most precious virtues of understanding, not anyone can compare at all, no matter this world or other world, Deva or Brahma. Ignorance is ignorance. That's why listen respectfully to each word, which is so rare. It's there in this life. Who knows? Next life, there is no this person anymore. It can be an ant or a snake or a bird by conditions, by karma. Even it hears the sound right now, never understanding the meaning and the nature of that at all, by conditions. That's why learn to understand it. Whatever is there in life is conditioned by so many conditions. And condition is not just the word. We can talk about the condition for seeing. It's different for the condition for visible object. There must be conditions for visible object to arise, so it's there now. And what conditions are there? If Buddha didn't tell or say anything, who knows? That's why understand who is the Buddha, paying great respect to each word of truth. Study carefully, otherwise when it's not careful considering, it cannot understand the right meaning, the truth of each word, but take it so very superficially, like life is not permanent, right? But what is life? And if there's no understanding of this moment, is it the understanding of life? That's why each moment has to be understood, that it's what we take for life, which is so long, from birth to death. But in truth, life is so very short. Because what Buddha said, Sabbe Sankhara, what conditioned reality, anicca, falls away. Sabbe Sankhara, anicca. Sabbe Sankhara, dukkha. What's the use of just from nothing and then be something and nothing again? What for? No meaning. It's not meaningful at all. Just arise and falls away. Never finished. When there are conditions for whatever arises, right now, it has a reason. So study Dhamma, the words of the Buddha, is not far away from now, this moment. What is there? And where is it? Nobody, no one thought about whatever appear is there now, here, so very close. Seeing is here, hearing is here, touching is here, everything here. So very close. That's why the word opanajiko. If there's no understanding of seeing is so close, how can there be moment of attending to just seeing, not other thing else? In order to have more understanding, more confidence of no one. See, Because seeing now, it's not only seeing, hearing is there too. But hearing cannot be seeing, different conditions. And if there is still seeing, there can never be hearing. Seeing has to fall away, pass away, and condition the next moment by conditions to be seeing or thinking or smelling or touching. This is very close what we take for life. But we think far away, not understand what is there now and where is it until it's nowhere. Like the body, we used to understand what is there in the body. But what is the body? Nothing can be in it. But it's there by conditions. That's why when it's so close, it's inside. When it's so far, to know, it's outside. The inside is the Jakku Pasada, and the outside is that which impinges on it. Each word should be carefully considered to understand. The very precious is begin to letting go the idea of self. Otherwise, no understanding, no more clinging to take it for permanent self. The flowers now, we saw it yesterday, and it's there now. The same or different. It looks not as the same. Yesterday is fresh more than today because it's more than the other day. And today it's not fresh as before. How come? Can anyone change it? Or it has to be appear because the object which is there yesterday gone completely. This is a new one, arising and falling away. And this is so subtle that it takes time even for the Buddha to realize the truth, to be the enlightened one, the Buddha. So all disciples, the listeners, develop from no understanding at all. But it's so precious to begin to understand even just one word, Dhamma, Sangha. See, three gems, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha are all Dhamma's gem. No. What is the gem? See, learn little by little the precious moment and that which is not precious at all. Just see, attach to it, like it, want to take it, try every way to have it. No understanding is gone. How many money or wealth you have now? When there's no thinking, where are they? It might be stolen, unknown, but you think that it's there, right? That's why only that which is now appearing is true. It's true. No flower. Imagine what is true. Only that which is seen is taken by shape and form, nimitta, as different. The petal, the flower, the leaf, the stem, and so on, the glass, the straw, and so on. In a moment, just close your eyes, all gone. Nothing can be seen. How come? As soon as opens one's eyes, so many things. Is that right? Not understanding the truth. So it's so permanent. It's me or someone or something, the world of atta, the world of nimitta. And the truth is that without that which arises and falls away in split seconds of split second, how can there be, as soon as one's open one's eye. So many different things seen instantly. No need to think about it at all. It's there already, done by how many moments, what is the difference between each moment by condition. How can it be taken for someone or something when it's not there anymore? So, what is the precious moment? And what is not precious? Even getting wealth or fame or whatever, gone. And who's after this life still something belong to that person? Or all gone instantly, unknowingly, only dreaming, thinking about what belongs to me, and so on. Fame or praise or blame. See, whatever is there, begin to understand that actually they are all Dhammas, different ones, only once in samsara and then gone. Is it Sukha or Dukkha? Just attached to that so much, but it's gone. Unknowingly, still have attachment to that which is not there anymore. Is that avijja? Foolish? Or very wise?
Very foolish, clinging to what is so
In
unsatisfactory.
The word in Pali for Baramango, what is that in Bali? Do you know?
The word for what?
Parama, very great. Ngo,
Greatest.
much
បរមមោហៈបរមអវិជ្ឆា
At moment of no understanding, it's more and more and more and more. It's Parama, Paramango.
The ultimate, like in Paramatta, Parama, the greatest.
Is it true? When someone say, you are Paramango, now it's true. But no me.
So Opanayiko, leading close to the truth. And for Guangmin, our new friend, so we agreed that understanding is most precious. And Ajahn just mentioned that especially understanding to let go of the idea of I is very, very precious. So we think, I see now, I hear, I smell, but actually just a moment of seeing, gone, hearing, gone, smelling, gone. And at a moment of smelling now, there's a smell at this moment when I lift up the cup of tea, different smell from the smell here or the smell when smelling the flower, but it's just smell and then it's gone. But so quickly there's thinking about the tea smell or the flower smell or what we have learned at school about oxygen smell and so on. But actually it's just smell. Just like when eating breakfast, one taste or a different taste, but it's just different tastes. But after smelling the odor, the smell, quickly there's thinking about it, thinking about a story about what is smelt. So we think about a lot of stories, but we learn about understanding what is true. It's just a moment of smelling what is smelt. No eye that smells, no thing that is smelt, just the smell. What about hearing now? What is heard now, Chong Ming, do you think?
I can hear you talking.
It seems that way. It seems I can hear Ajahn talking, I can hear your voice. But actually, at the moment of hearing, it's just sound that is heard. Just sound, and if there was no thinking about you talking, where is you talking? So it's just different sounds that are heard, and then thinking about this person or that person talking. So we think a lot about what has been smelt, what has been heard, what has been seen. We think now we see flowers, we see people, is that right? But actually it's just color that is seen, just what is visible that is seen. And then because of memory, because of what we have learned, there is thinking about the flowers, the table, the people. So the understanding now is beginning to consider or understand what sounds so strange for the first time, understanding that what is smelt, the smell, is different from the story about oxygen or the tea or the flowers. What is heard now is just sound. And what Ajahn mentioned earlier, no atta. Atta means self. No eye that sees, no eye that smells, no thing that is smelt, just smell and then gone. So now, is there thinking?
Yes.
Can we say it is I thinking, or can we just say the thinking thinks?
The thinking thinks.
And why is it the thinking that thinks and not I that thinks?
Because sometimes we can't control what we think.
Exactly. No control about the thinking. And if the thinking now is I, what about the thinking now? If the good thinking is I, what about the bad thinking? How can that be I? So what you said is correct. It's just different moments of thinking, not in the control of I. So we can just say the seeing now is not I, the hearing now is not I, the thinking now is not I. They are just different dhammas, different realities that arise by different causes and then gone, and then a new one. Now, is the thinking the same as a moment ago?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Is it thinking about the same topic as a few moments ago? No. So at each moment it's different thinking, different seeing, different hearing, different smelling, changing all the time. And what Ajahn was saying, quite useless because each one is gone. So forget about it, it's gone already. Not important at all. So this was the lesson for today. All these different dhammas, what we called life before, life now, no atta, no I, no self, no control. So that's very, very helpful for everyone. Thank you, Quang Minh.
Hình như là chị Mỹ Phượng có câu hỏi đúng không ạ? Dạ, mời chị, ai chuyển mic cho chị Mỹ Phượng ngồi ở đằng kia.
We're just learning that actually even when helping children, teaching young people, it has to be correct from the very beginning, so there can be the beginning of learning about, understanding about not self right from the start. Never too young to begin to hear, consider, learn. Because life is now, right?
Dạ, con kính chào Achan, chào ông bà John, Sarah và Pháp Đàm. Lời đầu tiên con xin được tri ân bà Achan cùng với ông bà John, Sarah và ban tổ chức cùng với Pháp Đàm là đã cho con cơ hội đến đây nghe được những lời thật của Đức Phật. Và bây giờ con cũng có cái suy xét về chánh kiến. Thì con cũng có một chút xíu rất là nhỏ là hiểu về chánh kiến. Và chánh kiến thì nó có những cái hiểm họa đối với những người mà tìm hiểu hoặc là có cái cũng như là có cái suy nghĩ để mà hướng về cái con đường tìm hiểu lời thật của Đức Phật. Và cái hiểm họa này á, có nhiều mức độ mà con cũng có cái hiểu rất là nhỏ, rất là ít ỏi. Thì con mong bà và ông bà John và Sarah hãy cho con thêm cái hiểu về chánh kiến ạ.
Chị muốn nói hiểm họa của tà kiến hay của chánh kiến ạ?
Tà kiến. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to Achan and John and Sarah, and also the organizers of the discussion for giving me the opportunity to come to listen to the words of the truth from the Buddha. And I have considered a little bit on what has been heard so far. And with my little understanding, I'm thinking of the dangers of wrong view. Wrong view can be very dangerous and leads one away from the path. So that is a topic that I would like to hear more from you. Thank you.
Let me start by saying that all agusala is dangerous. It's true that the Buddha said that wrong view is the most dangerous of all, but any agusala is dangerous. And even other dhammas can be considered a danger in the Buddha's teaching, because they are liable to be the object of attachment. So wrong view is just another reality that arises from time to time. And it has a characteristic by which it can be known. There are different kinds of wrong view, and the one that's mentioned most in our discussions is the wrong view of self. The first thing we need to keep in mind is that wrong view of self does not mean the same as the idea of I or me or you. Because there can be an idea of this person and that person without having wrong view about whether there is a self or not. So even the stream enterer who has eradicated wrong view of self still thinks and talks in terms of this person and that person, this object, that object. So we cannot know wrong view from just the fact that there is thinking about people and things. And wrong view, another word for wrong view is wrong understanding. Wrong understanding means what we think is understanding, but is incorrect. So if we think, for example, that our ancestors can receive our wholesome thoughts or good wishes, or can benefit from the food that we offer them, if we believe that truly, that would be an example of wrong view. We think we know what is true and correct, but that view is incorrect. So that is wrong view at that moment. As far as when it arises in a day, that will vary from one individual to the next. It may be helpful to remember that the Buddha spoke in the suttas about the agusala consciousness, agusala jittas that arise commonly in a day. And the term he used in the suttas, translated into English, was conceiving, or manyati in the Pali, but that doesn't matter. The meaning of that is thinking with attachment, craving, tanha in Pali, or conceit, mana in Pali, or wrong view, ditthi in Pali. So this kind of thinking makes up a lot of the day for us, for everyone. But as to whether a given moment is just attachment, or conceit, or wrong view, will depend on different individuals. So there can be, for example, when there's conceit, there's a strong idea of me and my situation. We may think that that indicates wrong view, but it doesn't, because conceit is different from wrong view. So if we want to know more about wrong view, we need to consider what it means to understand wrongly about the way things are. So it can't be just having an idea of people and things or table, but it's with the belief that one understands how things are. Is there any particular aspect of wrong view that you would like to hear more about?
Dạ thì hiện bây giờ con vẫn thấy là có cái sự dính mắc. Ví dụ như là thấy cái tôi, cái ngã là nhiều nhất. Thì con nghĩ là nơi con là có rất nhiều tà kiến, là bởi vì lúc nào mình cũng thấy có cái tôi, cái ta. Dạ, thì cái trong ba cái mà ông John vừa trình bày cho con đó, thì con thắc mắc về cái ngã.
Currently, I find that there are a lot of ego and selfness in me. And you mentioned about three akusala, wrong view, conceit, and tanha. So I think her question, although she didn't formulate it like that, but she maybe would like to know whether what she's having is this or that. She thinks that it's wrong view.
Right. It's not necessarily important to know exactly what kind of akusala is arising at the present moment. That may sound strange because we have an idea that the development of the path is about having less akusala, including wrong view. But what does it mean when Ajahn talks about beginning to let go the idea of self? Does it mean that when there's an idea of self, there is the catching of that idea and letting go? No, that is not the development of the path. The antidote to wrong view is right view. Right view means understanding. In fact, understanding is the antidote or the remedy for any kind of akusala. And that is the path the Buddha taught, to develop understanding of what is appearing now. When that development takes place, then gradually it will become clearer. What kinds of akusala may be arising at the present moment. But every moment of understanding of any reality, whether it's consciousness, whether it's feeling, whether it's hardness or sound, every moment of awareness and understanding of a conditioned reality helps to reduce the wrong view, because it's right view. And that is the only way for wrong view to be eventually eradicated. So we don't have to think about catching wrong view when it arises, because that is an idea of trying to control things. So just think about developing the understanding of what appears.
And now, is there ego or big ego or thinking, clinging to oneself?
Dạ là có.
Yes.
And now it's gone, like the seeing or the hearing or the thinking. It's just for a moment, clinging to the idea of I, finding oneself important. It's just for a moment and then gone. It's not my thinking. It's not my ego. It's just a Dhamma, that moment of dreaming about ego, clinging to ego, and it's gone, of no importance. And if there is thinking about it again and again, it's just more clinging to the story of ego, more clinging to the idea of I. So whatever arises now is gone. It's Dhamma, it's anatta, no one there. So no matter whether it is mana or ditthi, it doesn't matter, it's gone, never to return again. So this is the letting go, understanding that whatever arises is gone instantly, of no significance, nothing to be so concerned about, because it's unimportant and it's gone. And now at a moment of seeing, no ego, moment of hearing, no ego, a moment of wise considering, no ego. So like we discussed earlier, kusala sila, akusala sila, wholesome thinking, unwholesome thinking, kindness, ego, just different dharmas arising, each one gone, each one dukkha, useless, unsatisfactory, not worth clinging to for a moment. All gone.
Dạ, con cảm ơn ông bà John và Chara. Con cũng có thêm một chút cái hiểu. Dạ, con xin được tri ân ạ.
Thank you, John and Sarah. I have gained a little more understanding. Thank you. Dạ vâng, bây giờ cũng vừa hết giờ pháp đàm buổi sáng nay. Buổi chiều nay thì sẽ là pháp đàm sáng